Just made it.
Okay, welcome to the June 26th chat. And we have we have a few announcements, not quite as many as usual. We'll start with Marlene Yesley.
It's actually Sandy Macy is going to speak.
Okay.
Hi, Jerry. Can you hear me?
You're all set. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, thank you, Jerry. Hello, everyone. I'm here to speak about the awards, excuse me, the awards ceremony for our employees. This year, we will be holding the awards ceremony on Tuesday, July the 22nd at 7:30 p.m. in the Great Meadow Hall. We invite you all to join us in this very special occasion, honoring our hardworking and diligent employees. We invite you to join us and also please to RSVP. And there is an RSVP already in the foodie. It's under the heading of upcoming events. And we would appreciate very much your participation in that. Thank you all. And now Judy Rosenthal has a brief announcement as well.
Judy.
Go ahead.
Tag team from the scholarship committee. As you will find out, I'm sure, by attending the celebration on June 22nd, we have a large number of staff who are going to receive some funding from the scholarship committee. And I'm here to just remind you that in the financial support of this committee is dependent on all of us. One of the ways that you can help contribute and continue to support, as well as we've done, is to buy cards that we have available for many different uses. And I hope you've all seen the display of cards that are on the easel right near the library, in front of the library, which will give you an opportunity to see the cards that are available. We, the card team, are available to sell cards and fill your requests all during the summer. Both Rosalie Snyder and Bev Ashworth will be very available. And in order to order cards, there are slips. Don't worry about reading what is on here, but the slips look this way. They're this size. And they are available in all of the mail rooms, as well as on the concierge desk. They ask you only for your name, your address, Newbridge address, Newbridge phone number, and one of the committee members will get back to you and be able to fill your order. So we are happy that we're able to continue to support the scholarship fund as well as we could this year. We're hoping that that will continue, and we wish you all a good summer on a cooler day. Thank you, Jerry. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Paul Hardeman.
Thank you, Jerry. I'd like to just make an announcement about the Finance Committee. For the forthcoming year, we are seeking 5 new members. There's an email that was sent out, compliments of Joe Zagalis this morning, that hopefully you all received. It gives a little more detail on it. But if you're interested, and I hope a number of people are, the applications have to be in by July 15th. A decision will be made with a membership committee and the total finance committee by September 1st, at which point you'll be notified. The the obligation to serve the committee begins on October 1st. Our fiscal year is coincident with the Newbridge and Hebrew Senior Life fiscal year. It runs from October 1st until 9/30, September 30th, the following year. And it will be a 3-year term for all 5 members. So I hope a number of you do apply, and we look forward to seeing a new group coming on board. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a question from Terry Union.
Terry Union.
Everybody, since we've just had information about the scholarship fund, I'd like to add one third thing, that especially for new residents who are not aware, that you can also make a contribution to the scholarship fund by sending to someone a card, an acknowledgement. You make a contribution. It can be anything you want to give, $1, it can be $2,000. It doesn't matter what it is, but a card would be sent to that person that you want to receive it, whether it's in memory of someone, for their good health, for their birthday, whatever it is you want to acknowledge. That's also a way of contributing to the scholarship fund.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right. Thank you, Paul. Nancy Vega.
Howdy, y'all. I'm not sure if you know this, but I am here to remind you that on Saturday, 2 days from now, right? 2 days, sorry, it's been a long week. Our New Bridge chorus is making its official debut. And us, cordially invite you to join us for a pre-July 4th celebration. And it's called Music with Company. They will be performing a very short concert.
Versus supporting.
And we would really like you to come. We're gonna have some fun, festive snacks, including fruit tarts and some cream puffs, so something a little different. Not ice cream. I'm not sure who spread that rumor, but it's not ice cream. Nonetheless, please come, Great Middle Hall, Saturday at 2 o'clock. And then I was just gonna let you know of a couple things next week, including our lovely residents present on Monday, which will be Howard and Ruth Taylor's presentation of their 4,000-mile journey from Sarasota to Newbridge. And they will explain to you why it was 4,000 miles. So that's on Monday at 2 o'clock. And then we have the lovely return of the Smack Dabs on Tuesday, July 1st at 7:30. And they will offer a delightful and timeless vintage pre-war swing, jazz, and blues of the 1930s. Then we have a Marcus Institute finish of the Health Speaker Series, and it's Dr. Shivani Sani, who would like to discuss diet for healthy bones and bodies, Wednesday, July 2nd at 2. And then I just wanted to plug in what we were going to do for celebration of July 4th, which is actually happening on Saturday with the lovely festivities of food and beverage, which I will let Josh get into. But our concert will be right smack in the middle from 1:30 to about 2:45, maybe 3, depending on how big the crowd is, in Great Middle Hall, the new Black Eagles Jazz Band. And so we hope to see you all next week. And I hope you enjoy the festivities. Thanks.
Thanks, Nancy. And now Joshua Ferraro.
Hi, thank you, Jerry, and thank you, everyone. Before we get into a brief announcement and the presentation that we've been talking about some operational changes, I did want to take a moment to acknowledge and recognize that we had the privilege this past week, the dining leadership team, of handing out the appreciation checks to our line level staff. And I just want to recognize and thank the community for their generosity, their acknowledgement of the hard work that these line level staff do, and handing out those checks and seeing the appreciation on the line level staff, especially at this time where some are on vacation, school's ending, things going on in their family lives. Very well received, and just wanted to thank everyone in this community and let you know how it lands on them. So a big thank you to the community for their ongoing commitment to the Appreciation Fund. So thank you. To what Nancy had said about the 5th of July, this will be now the second annual Centro Clam Bake and Barbecue. We had so much feedback last year, which I believe was the inaugural version of it, that we've decided to pretty much repeat what we did last year. So on Saturday, July 5th, from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m., we will be hosting simultaneous events: the clam bake inside the main dining room of Centro and the outdoor barbecue on the patio adjacent to Centro. Reservations will be open starting this Saturday, a week in advance, as is usual. The menus and some additional details were already uploaded on the upcoming events page of the dining website. And the menus also starting tomorrow will be in the weekly dining communication, as well as the Centro menu tab on the website itself. So multiple locations where you can find the menus and additional details. Quick side note that because we will be launching those two events all day, Saturday and Centro, Centro will be closed for its normal dining service on Saturday, July 5th. Any questions about the July 5th before we get into the operational change presentations, Jerry?
Don't see any.
All right, just give me a moment to share my screen.
There you go.
Okay, very good. So as has been mentioned,
Excuse me,
for the-
sorry. I do have a question, and I guess my
Yeah.
raised hand was.
Go ahead, John.
Okay, sorry about that. Josh, first of all, how large are the tables?
I'm not following your question. How large is
How
the
many
table?
people at
On the barbecue outside is 6 and 6 and 4 is on the patio, and up to 8 for the clam bake.
Okay, and when we make reservations, how do we differentiate on the reservation? Is it through open table? How do we designate barbecue versus the clam bake?
That's a great question. Thank you so much. We are working on creating 2 experiences that you should be able to choose from in Open Table. The backup plan, Charlie, would be just simply type in which event you're attending. And then as the host team confirms if there's any questions. That's a great point, Charlie. We're hoping that you'll be able to choose it when you're booking for that Saturday. You should be able to see clam bake or barbecue. Adriana's working with Open Table on that. But if that doesn't seem to work or becomes too confusing, you would simply put it in as a note as your request. And if we see a reservation without it, we would contact them and ask them which one they're looking to join. But thank you so much for bringing that up, Charlie. I would have missed that.
Thank you, Josh.
Yep, you're very welcome. So again, we had been communicating for the past couple of weeks. We had discussed and reviewed with the dining committee some operational changes. So I'm kind of going to go through the slides that we've presented. I'm going to go over some frequently asked questions that have already come up. And then once we've gone through the entire presentation, myself, Patrick, and Adriana are here to address any additional questions that may come up. So if you have a question, just jot it down and we'll certainly have some time moving forward. All right, so the vision of these changes, based on feedback and data, we plan to successfully offer increased seating capacity for residents and, importantly, their guests. We plan to offer themed buffets on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays in Nosh. We will talk about the plan to have guests join residents for dinner in the Centro main dining room on a limited basis to start. And then Copper Beach to now offer the same menu and service as Centro for walk-in diners and their guests. So no longer offering buffets, but remaining a first come, first served seating in Copper Beach. And we'll get into more specifics as we come through. So the Nosh dining changes. We've labeled it as a fast casual buffet dining. So we replace the a la carte dinner menu that is currently offered on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday with a themed buffet in addition to the existing buffet nights we already do on Sunday and Tuesday. We do not plan on any changes to Friday's Shabbat dinner. At all buffets in Nosh, residents can serve themselves at the buffet or if they prefer, order buffet items at the table to be delivered by staff. The soup and salad bar, as has always been the case, will remain self-serve. If you're going up to the soup and salad bar, you can make your own salad and grab your own soup from there. The seating in Nosh, again, on all of the buffet nights, with the exception of Friday Shabbat, will be family style, first come, first serve basis. We can fit about 60 diners and guests in Nosh. Reservations will no longer be needed or required to dine in Nosh, Sunday through Thursday. There won't be any more seating in Winter Garden on the buffet nights. We will be expanding the buffet a little bit and allowing for better traffic flow at the buffets. So the only time Winter Garden will have seating is on the Shabbats, Friday Shabbats. And the weekly buffet menus will be available on Friday for the following week, similar to the specials that you get now. In addition to that, each night, the tables will have a mini version of that night's buffet menu displayed on the table. So we said themed menus on the nights where we currently have the a la carte menu. And Chef Patrick, would you like to highlight, some of the themed menus, the ones that we already have in the rotation, and maybe some future ideas?
Yeah, so just to talk a little bit more about the menus, we're trying to have a little bit of fun with the buffets and not make it just a simple buffet. As you all know, right now on Mondays, we are doing the summer barbecue in Nosh every Monday for the rest of the summer. But for Wednesdays and Thursdays, the plan is just to have a different theme every week. For example, on this slide, you can see just a bunch of themes that we just put together that we plan on doing in the restaurant. For example, next week, right now, we are planning on doing a Asian night on Wednesday, and on Thursday, we plan on doing a prime rib night. And in the following week, it could be a sushi night, could be a fish night, could be an Italian night. We're just gonna switch it up, have some fun with it. And obviously, when the barbecue ends at the end of the summer, there's some other ideas down low that we plan on rotating in.
Thank you, Chef. All right, so obviously with these changes, there's another operational change we want to highlight, and that has to do with the dinners to go. Obviously, when it's a buffet, it can be very difficult to package a dinner to go when it's from a buffet. So here's what we have come up with. The Nosh lunch menu will now be available for dinner if you place your order by 2 p.m. online, by phone, or in person. As is usual, the deliveries for those orders will take place between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. If you're interested in the Nosh buffet but want it to go, then your option is we will be open for walk-up counter service at the deli counter, which will be a similar version of the buffet, but we will package it up for you, and you can come down between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. So basically, during a little earlier and then throughout dinner service, to just come down, pick out the items that you want from the buffet, package it up, and take it back with you. But we will not be able to do the delivery from the buffet menu. As is with all buffets, no takeout containers will be allowed for in-person dining.
I don't know.
So now we transition, and again, we will cover some frequently asked questions and then answer any other questions, but we're going to talk briefly about the Copper Beach dining changes. We mentioned that we will be transitioning from a buffet to regular full-service dining. The full Centro dinner menu will be offered with the same dining hours. Similar to right now, Copper Beach will not have reservations. It is walk-ins only on a first-come, first-served basis. And we ask that residents and their guests check in with the host team prior to sitting and receive a chip from the host stand to allow us to monitor capacity. We do need to know how many people are heading back to that room so the host stand knows when it's full, and we might have to put someone on a wait list if Copper Beach was to fill up and someone was interested in dining there. So again, one of the goals is to welcome more guests to dine with us. So Nosh, there will be no changes to the guest protocol. As is similar now, guests are welcome in Nosh Monday through Friday. The only exception is the Sunday dinners because Centro being closed does make more residents coming down to the Nosh. So we want to make sure we have as many seats as possible for our resident. Like any other night in Nosh, including Shabbat, guests are welcome. Now we'll talk about guests in Centro and Copper Beach. Guests are welcome to join in Copper Beach a maximum table of 4, which is, excuse me, already the maximum table number for the Copper Beach. We will also be allowed guests to welcome in the Central main dining room, again, maximum table of 4. The only difference here is that we're asking for the shoulder times if you're bringing guests into the dining room. We all know that 5:30 to 6:30 is our prime dining hours in the Central main dining room for our residents. So if you're bringing guests, you'll be limited to booking between 5 and 5:30 or from 6:30 to 7. We do ask that between 5:30 and 6:30, if you're making reservations, it should be resident dining only. And just as a reminder, Centro offers brunch every other Sunday, 11 to 2. And as always, the Centro brunches remain open to residents, family, and guests. So we'll go through some of the frequently asked questions we've heard so far. Why are we changing back to a buffet style menu in Nosh? Monday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, the number of residents dining has been extremely low. Nosh is being underutilized and at times overstaffed. Why are reservations no longer required in Nosh? We recognize it's been frustrating for the community trying to manage the reservations in the environment of Nosh. We're unable to offer an a la carte menu without reservations, so our goal is to see residents eating together in Nosh as a community at their own pace. You come down with who you want, when you want, and you sit where you want. What about if I like my entrees plain? So the catch of the day and the roasted chicken will always be available as a plain option. I think I mentioned this, but why can we not have guests in Nosh on Sunday? With Centro closed for dinner, we want to make sure that residents have enough space as possible to dine. We have other options, including the brunch every other week and every other night. Guests are welcome, so we do remain Nosh on Sunday evenings for resident dining only. Again, the table of 4 means that if you invite 3 people, that's the maximum for guests in Centro for now. Based on the next several weeks, if we have an opportunity to open that up with the different dining options, we certainly will circle back and communicate that. And again, I do believe we covered it, but again, keeping the guests in Central main dining room, guests of residents, between 5 and 5:30 or between 6:30 and 7 allows the prime dining hours for our residents who are used to dining between the 5:30 and 6:30 mark. Okay. I noticed I covered, I realized I covered quite a bit here. So Jerry, certainly stop here and ask if there are any questions.
Okay, you got to take this down so we can see. Are there any questions? Yes. Start with Mayor Fine and then Barbara Nadich.
So, Josh, on Saturday, July 5th, you're only open from 2 to 4. If you wanted takeout for dinner time, is that available?
I'm sorry, Mayor, it was 12 to 4. But no, dinner, the only options will be that clam bake and Central barbecue.
So you can't order takeout to be delivered after 4, between 4 and 5.
Correct. Not on Saturday, July 5th. Thank you, Mayor. Yep.
Another question, Mayor? No. All right, Barbara Nadich.
That was my question. I thought I heard you say there was no dinner service on July 5th.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Barbara, Marlene Yesley.
So if we were like, let's say we were 4 residents, we could have 2 guests and have a table of 6?
Not at the moment. No,
Okay,
no,
so-
Marlene.
Okay.
We're trying to limit it for now. And again, we're always looking at ways to expand, but we're trying to start slowly to monitor the impact to the dining for everybody. And then when we have opportunities to expand. So if you have guests dining with you, as of right now, the maximum will be tables of 4.
Even if we have 4 residents with them?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, that's
yeah.
good to know.
No, I get where you're going. It's a great question, Marlene, because I'm sure that'll come up. So thank you very much for that.
Okay.
Thank you. Yep.
Thanks.
All right, any other questions? Okay, go ahead, Josh.
Well, to be honest with you, I'll defer to Patrick and Adriana to make sure I didn't miss anything, but I know of one thing I missed is that we are also, because of all these changes, the new Nosh lunch menu will begin this Monday as well. And then we'll be talking about the Centro dinner menu, which will be changing in a few weeks. So we do have more changes coming, but we knew that these operational changes, being new, we were trying to limit as much that we do all at once. So I do want to mention real quick, Jerry, if I have a moment, I'm going to share real quick where you can find additional information. Sorry. Where's the dining website? Oh, sorry, Jerry. Hold on.
Go ahead. We lost your share.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had the website pulled up. I just wanted to share one more quick thing. I appreciate you bearing with me.
Then we have a question from Irving Fox.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, it's Gloria Fox. I want to ask you, in Copper Beach, will the large community tables still be available? The one in the center of the room?
No, we will have the smaller tables.
Okay, thank you.
So this is what I was trying to share. Where is the... Okay, so on the dining website, you can see my screen now, I hope, Jerry, yes?
Right.
Okay, so if you go to resources, because I know I covered a lot of information, if you go to resource page on the dining website, this is where we had mentioned the nutritional information lives on the central menu. But there's a button here, operational changes. And we have posted the presentation today on there. So if someone wants to take a glance or a reminder of all the changes, it's available there. So I just wanted to mention that again. That's on the dining website on the resource pages. And Jerry, I think that's about it. If there are no other questions.
Oh, we have a question from Frank Baxter. Go ahead.
Sorry, I had to unmute. You said that there would be a new lunch menu at Nosh this coming Monday. When will there be a new lunch menu at Centro?
So we just wanted to get through this and then focus on the dinner in Centro. So the plan is towards the end of July, early August, you'll definitely have a new menu for lunch in Centro.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
Judy Goldman is
Judy
raising her hand.
Go ahead, Judy. Unmute. I'll do it. Go ahead. Yeah.
If Copper Beach is full because they don't take reservations and we can't get into Centro, what do we do?
Well, talk to me about not being able to get into Centro. Have you run into that recently? Because typically we have reservations in Centro just about every night available. And Judy, if we start seeing Copper Beach fill up, most likely that means we're drawing from somewhere else. So the possibility that there'd be a table available in Centro is very high. And then finally, if both were to be full, Judy, then we certainly could send a resident down to Nosh to the buffet, which is also available as a walk-in, sit down and dine. So I hope I answered your question, Judy. We don't know with these changes all of the impacts, but we certainly will monitor. And if we need to adjust and have a follow-up discussion, we certainly will. But we're thinking that with all these changes and additional options, that it's going to kind of spread the way that residents dine, hopefully, and change up is what we're anticipating and hoping for.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, any other questions?
Yes, I have a question. Elaine Kenigsberg.
Oh, yes, go ahead, Elaine.
The Copper Beach buffet is no more. Is that correct?
Starting Monday, correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. And there was an observation in the chat, Jerry, from Bob Orkin, that on the website it mentioned tables of 8 for both events, Saturday, July 5th. He is correct. I'm sorry. I forgot there are 3 large tables on the Centro patio that can accommodate up to 8. So it'll be a maximum of 8 for both events on Saturday, July 5th. Thank you, Bob, for bringing that up.
Okay, great. Anything else? All right, any other announcements before we go to Matt? Okay, we're ready for you, Matt.
Thanks, Jerry, Josh, Patrick, Adriana, thank you so much. Obviously, a lot of complicated changes there, but I so admire your willingness to try to always improve the program. It would be easy to just continue as is, but you have all looked at it and taken feedback and done what you can. So I admire that very much and want to say thank you. At the same time, I want to ask the community for a little bit of patience. There's 2 major changes happening between Copper Beach and Nosh. And so Josh alluded to it a little bit, but you never really know what you're going to get until you get into it a little bit. And there's always something you haven't thought of, no matter how hard you try. So just a little patience in advance will be greatly appreciated as they work out some of the details. Nonetheless, I'm really proud of you guys. Way to go. It's great stuff. A couple community updates. First and foremost, I wanted to share that unfortunately COVID is not over. Although we always want it to be over, it is not over. Last week, we saw a surge of cases amongst employees, all back of the house employees, no one forward facing. Thank goodness, that was the gift in it all. But at one point we had about 5 or 6 employees that were out with COVID. So with that being the case, this is my plea to the community to take care of yourselves. If you're not feeling well, please stay home. Security, of course, has tests and they're willing to test. If you're unclear about any of the protocols, security has them printed out and can leave them for you as well. And from what I've heard, this version of COVID is not a fun one. So please take care of yourselves. We all know the drill at this point, but I want to keep the community aware so you can all keep your guard up when the place and time is right. And the place and time is now. So everybody's returned. We're not continuing to see cases amongst the employees, but it just goes to show that it's still happening out there. All right, I'm going to keep moving. The next thing I want to talk about are scams. There's so many sophisticated scams that are happening right now, targeting your personal information and your finances. And it's getting to the point where it's hard to discern what is real and what is not. This is another opportunity to lean on our security team. If something is going on or doesn't feel right in any way, shape, or form, reach out and ask them, I got this email or I got a phone call. This is what they're asking for. This is what's going on. And they can certainly give you their professional perspective on it. I will say this. If it doesn't feel right or you don't know the person or it just seems too good to be true or too extreme, it's likely a scam. And with AI these days and voice spoofing and lots of personal information available, I wouldn't send money to anybody unless I know who they are. The worst case scenario, they're going to send you an overdue notice. Okay, great. But please be careful. It's becoming a larger and larger issue because the sophistication around these has just gone through the roof. It's absolutely incredible, some of the things they're doing now. So please lean on us. We're constantly educated about the current scams, the ways to avoid them, and things along those lines. And with that, I'm going to make a quick plug. I know Will has a presentation coming up in early July that talks specifically about scams. There's so much information in there, and Will is such an expert that please do attend. I believe it's July 8th, and I'm taking this off the top of my head. So if it's not, I'll ask somebody to correct me, but it's going to be a valuable program. And I think it would mean a lot to the community if you were there. The other piece I'm going to say is there's very little recourse for when you lose these funds. Sometimes your banking institution can help. Sometimes a credit card can help, but it's a long, arduous process. And the more frequent they become, it seems like the less support there is. So just want to put that out there to the community and to say to truly take it seriously. It's a big thing. Next, I'm going to invite Mark to just give a brief program manager update. As we all know, that position is open. There's some interviewing that's been happening. Mark.
Thanks, Matt. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. So yes, for the program manager for independent living, we have been actively interviewing and have a candidate identified that we are starting the process of going through our HR reference checks, compensation analysis, and things of that nature. So I'm hoping very soon to have an update for you and introduce a new program manager for independent living. You know, it's been a long road to get there, and Matt and I have both interviewed this candidate. We also had a small panel of residents that I invited to join me to interview as well. And it's been all very positive feedback on this particular candidate. So I'm hoping, like I said, without giving any other details yet, hoping to have an offer out to this person very soon, and hopefully an acceptance, and be able to bring this person on board and introduce them to the community. So we're excited about that, and appreciate your patience. And in the meantime, you know, a shout out to Nancy Vega and everyone else on the programming team who have just done an unbelievable job keeping the regular programming going, bringing in interesting speakers, regular concerts, and things of that nature. Nancy has done a phenomenal job, you know, continuing to keep, you know, the regular programming going. So I appreciate that. Just as long as I have the microphone as well, I just want to give a quick update on Rabbi Judy as well. Many of you have probably heard this already, and some that have not, but Rabbi Judy is finally back at home here in the Boston area. She had a flight on Monday, an evacuation flight out of Israel that brought her to Newark, New Jersey. She flew home the next night from Newark to Boston and is home, and very happy to be home and safe, and, you know, obviously concerned still for her family, and, you know, lots of other residents that have family there as well, but glad to be home. She's tired. It was a long trip, it's been a long stretch for her, and still recovering from her accident. So no timeline yet on her return, as much as she is longing to be back here and get in front of everyone again. I've encouraged her and to make sure she's taking care of herself first. So she's got some doctor's appointments that she's going to be following up on, and then figuring out what her plan is to get back here to Newbridge. But as I've said many times before, she certainly has appreciated everyone's notes and concerns and thoughts and prayers. So just wanted to let everyone know that she is home and doing well, and hopefully will be back with us soon. And that's all I have. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. And also thank you, Nancy. You've done an incredible job and continue to do so. And I know I speak for the whole community when we're just to say that we are very grateful. Next Friday, July 4th, it's an HSL holiday. If you have housekeeping scheduled for next Friday, units scheduled for cleaning on July 4th will take place on Friday, July 11th. That'll also be in my letter tomorrow with the housekeeping coverage schedule. So hopefully that'll be convenient for you if you need to access it. And then lastly, Sarah Grondell let me know that window washing will begin in the community building on Monday. We expect that to take a few days, and then it'll go over to the healthcare center, and that residential apartments, cottages, villas, all that stuff will begin on the week of July 7th. Sarah will put out the schedule as it goes along. But for today, the important part is to know that next week, window washing will begin at the community building. And then other than that, I'm just happy to take any questions you may all have.
Mayor Fine.
I assume that means outside window washing.
Yes.
Any other questions? Joan Racklin, I know you and went down afterwards. Anyone else? I guess that does it. Anything else, Matt?
That's it from me, Jerry. Thank you. I do see Joan's hand up.
Oh, she put her hand back up. Go ahead, Joan.
Sorry. Hi, everyone. I don't know if this is appropriate or certainly not on the agenda, but my husband Seymour Small and I are new. Just celebrated our 8-week anniversary here. And just as a newbie, I want to thank everyone and really give a shout out to the entire staff from top to bottom. The communications have been extraordinary. And beyond that, the friendliness and warmth and welcoming, I just can't say enough. I also want to say how awed I am by Michael Ross and Jim Feldman, neither of whom I have ever met. But I feel like not only is the interior culture and spirit of Newbridge quite remarkable, but the way they give us this guided tour, regularly guided tour of the biosphere and the surroundings is something that has come to mean so much to me. I'm one of those who can't get out as regularly. So I just, again, want to thank them specifically for that added and major, at least for me, benefit of being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan. Anybody else? So we will have a program next week. We'll see you next Thursday. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Jerry.